such as building a charging infrastructure, supply chain disruptions, and the cost of vehicles. The plan will also require approval from the Environmental Protection Agency. Ira Spitzer, San Francisco.
And gold imports from Russia to China were 8 times greater in July than June and 50 times greater than July last year. That's over $100 million worth of gold a month, and it comes after the US, UK and European Union banned new imports of Russian gold in late July. Stuart Smith has more from Moscow.
Gold is Russia's second most valuable export after energy, an industry worth $15 billion US. And with sanctions applied, as with all areas of the sanctioned Russian economy, it's looking to find new avenues to export and import goods. Key processing hubs in Switzerland and Russia's main market in London are no longer accessible after sanctions, forcing exports to go through the UAE, India and China, most likely at a 20 to 30% discount according to some experts. With Russia export data no longer published to prevent scrutiny of trade changes, Chinese data shows Beijing's, to some extent, picking up the slack. Secondary sanctions which would attempt to prevent such workaround measures have not been applied.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Here we go. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Getting started with your KCHW morning show. Exciting today because it's the return of Phillip. We missed you last week, Phillip.
I'm here.
You're here. All right. You had some technical difficulties and just I got a couple texts from you. You finally just gave up, huh?
Yeah. I think that, I mean, some of it was my fault. I think when I brought my computer back from my show on Tuesday, I didn't plug it in or anything. And so, like, I worked a couple days and went to go set it up that morning. And I had to do some software updates. And at one point, it just got stuck forever, like 35 minutes. The bar was at the halfway point, and I was like,
It makes you wonder, what are they uploading into my computer that's taking so long?
Well, I don't know. I just got I don't know if I ever talked to you about it, but I finally got my Starlink all set up.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I now have it's pretty fast internet. But I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I haven't had any hiccups with it so far, but I think it's just a computer. It was just a computer thing.
All right. Now, so for folks that don't know, Starlink is Elon Musk's satellite system up there. So you're pretty happy with it so far?
Yeah. I mean, the setup was obviously a little more challenging than your normal cable or DSL setup, but outside of that, it's been great.
It's probably more like DirecTV or something like that, right?
Yeah, you own all of your equipment, so finding the right position for it to be in, and then for me, I had to get like a special mount to make sure it had the right clearance above, obstructions, and that would fit on my roof securely. But once I got that, everything is it's been great.
So now, do you know on this system? You're geeking me out here. Can you take that system and let's say drive into Chihuahua and go setting in the park, and let's say you had power, let's say you were setting up a booth in the park or something like that, and actually connect to it from somewhere else on the planet, or are you locked into a geographical location of your home?
I mean, there is definitely people that I've read that you can move around, but they actually offered, probably about 6 months ago, they started offering a RV unit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And that is fully mobile.
Yep.
Nice.
So if that was something that you were interested in, that's the route I would go. And it's still something that's in its beta phase or whatever, I was on a wait list for uh like 18 months.
Wow.
But it was so random. Just one day I get an email alert and it was like, hey, your stuff's ready to go, like, confirm your order within the next week or whatever. And I was so excited. And it's one of the few occasions that it was something that has actually been better than I imagined it would be.
Wow.
Cool.
So have you done a speed test?
Yeah, I have done several. It comes with like a nifty app that will tell you, like, you can, view it and view your obstructions or whatever, if there are any. You can do a speed test, and it will give you a whole statistic breakdown of like your download and upload speed and your like a latency test.
Nice.
But there are sometimes like that I've noticed between I don't know 5 and 9 or 5 and 10 p.m. where there's probably a lot of traffic and it kind of goes down. But even then, what the highest that was available before was like 9 megabytes a second download, which, if you know anything about internet, is really slow. So the slowest I've had so far is like in the 30s, and the highest I've had is like upward to 200 megabytes per second.
Nice.
Wow.
So,
Well,
fantastic.
30, that's about like, I know in Chihuahua, like my AT&T cell phone, every time I'd do a speed test, I'd have 30 up or 30 down and 10 up or something like that. So that's pretty good. I've done a lot of stuff with just 10. I mean, years ago when all we had was CenturyLink in Chihuahua, I think at that point we were on a 10 at the radio station and we were still streaming.
yeah. I'm hoping, even just doing the radio over Zoom, I'm hoping that in the past I've had issues where, my family has been streaming online at the same time that we've been broadcasting, and there'll be some audio hiccups and stuff like that. Then maybe I'll just cut down on that sort of thing. But I've just noticed things like, when I download games or stream Netflix or stuff like that, that just, it's so quick. There's no loading speeds whatsoever.
All right. Well, I've noticed before, like doing the show on Fridays with you, where we've had problems where, there was one time where you just gave up on shooting the video to Facebook and YouTube like we do in the mornings and just turned it off. And then quite often, just like a few of your sentences might have a little garble in them at times. And that would happen, but still understandable, but just garbled a little bit. And I haven't heard any of that this morning. So you sound clear as a bell. So awesome. All right. We're getting a little review on the new Starlink system from Elon Musk. I love it.
Which is really cool, because I've been looking into that for my own purposes. Where we're at, it's terrible. If anyone's ever tried to get a hold of me after I go home, it's nearly impossible sometimes. So
what really woke me up to it was just coming into the radio and seeing how fast it was there. And just doing my research and just finding out that I already had the fastest that was available to me.
Right.
And I was like, this is not going to work long term. Not when you have a family and that, somebody's trying to play something online and another person's trying to watch a show and somebody's trying to, do a radio broadcast. It just
Right.
Not enough bandwidth there for everyone to enjoy. Well, that's awesome. This, I'm already thinking about. I've dreamt of having a third option up at the tower, because you think we have two internets, but there's no lines going up there. Nothing's hardlined. And if one of them goes down, basically we have one of those AT&T home phones with internet up there, which they've been trying to phase out. So it's sketchy. We've actually had both internets be down at the same time and lost connection with the tower. So it would be totally awesome to have a system like that. Maybe it's something we can do a grant for, because I'm sure it would add up, and we're on a tight budget. But that would be something awesome to have up at the tower site as a backup, or as our main internet even.
Yeah, one of the, and I guess one of the goals in the future, once it comes out of beta, is to have somewhere close to 300 megabytes down a second. And, its initial purpose was to provide high-speed internet to rural areas. So hopefully with that, the cost of the equipment that you have to purchase and then the monthly charge, maybe there'll be some sort of tax break or whatever in the future. We'll see.
And it is one of the more expensive internets, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So you're going to pay for that connection if you live out in the woods. But like Michelle's saying, you get so frustrated. And I know you even have problems with your cell phone out where you live. It could be because once you have that good connection, if you're living in a place where even your cell phone doesn't work, once you have that internet connection, you can do Wi-Fi calling and just totally work around all those problems. So it could be a good option for people.
And with a signal that strong, I should be able to do Wi-Fi calling. But up where I'm at, it's really frustrating because we went and we got like the brand new best Verizon phones you can get and the best service package you can possibly get, and you get up there and we have family on the same property that have Verizon phones, and their phones work and ours don't. And I'm like, okay, there's a problem here. And then you find out that, well, their phones work because they're older models and they have the capabilities to tap into that 3G signal, where the new phones only tap into the 5G signal. So if they don't have a 5G tower in your area, your brand new phone that's
doesn't even work.
Upwards of $1,000 isn't going to work. But they don't tell you that when you're buying it. And so, yeah, it's really frustrating.
Well, I've even been kind of frustrated with so Obama started that to broadband across America, and we had all these new broadband companies pop up, which is great, providing services like we share the tower with Newbeam. And one thing that bothered me was, and I'm not going to name any names, is right beside our tower, somebody got permission and put up another tower, and it's a broadband company, and they're probably all working off some kind of form of government grants because they're government loans to build this infrastructure. But my problem was another company came into the same spot, and I don't think that should be allowed because now this other broadband company, it's not offering, it's just a competition thing. Between customers. There's no new ground being covered. To put up another broadband company right next to our tower serves no additional people, and I don't think that should be allowed. They shouldn't have been allowed to place their tower in the exact spot where another broadband tower is, because it's not benefiting any. It's just a competition for customers. It's not benefiting any people in our rural area for getting a new signal when you put two towers side by side. There's some problems there.
It's not expanding any coverage areas that could reach people that don't get it in town. Like if they had branched out a little bit further and maybe found a location that's similar further away from town, then more people and honestly, it's probably a poor business decision all the way around anyways to put it in the same spot.
Yeah, or put the tower on the opposite side of the valley where you're going to gain some customers that maybe don't have service. Because people in town have options like crazy. There's several broadband companies. There's CenturyLink. There's Spectrum. You have lots of choices if you're in town. It's the people that are out of town that need the help. So.
Right.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, I'd imagine, just how little you'd have to go outside of town, like thinking that you live relatively close and maybe you don't have Spectrum, which is like cable, and it's underground, so it probably only goes to so far out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, but didn't you say a while back that because of like that competing broadband company that the radio was forced to go with a service, or that they provided because they bought out one of the other ones. And
no, there was Newbeam bought Ecliptics, and Ecliptics had been having some troubles since they got started. And we were using that internet up at the tower, and it had lots of problems. But once Newbeam bought out that company, they came through, and I believe it's like a series of 44 towers covering Eastern Washington. And they came through, and it had to be a huge expense for Newbeam. They came through and put new gear on all of those towers, and that was more than a year ago. And I can honestly say that I think we've only maybe had it go down once or twice in over a year. It is so much better. It is so much faster. And it's really kind of, and I mean, people that are like avid listeners of the radio station that maybe listen 24 hours a day or every day have probably noticed over the past year that sometimes we have hiccups and sometimes they still happen, but that has been cut down. Oh gosh, probably by 80% now, because they really upped their game up there, and they've got a good signal and a good setup up there in the tower, and sometimes weather takes anybody out, so you just got to deal with that. Even our Spectrum internet now in Chihuahua, it's fiber optic, but we've had it go down before. But both of those companies, very, very rare to have a problem. Let's see. Jet must have been listening this morning. That was on yesterday's show as a guest. He piped in. He said Obama's broadband rule gave money directly to ISPs. New infrastructure bill distributes the money to state governments to distribute in the form of grants. So very regulated, but I don't think it's regulated enough when towers get put side by side. I just don't see the benefit there to rural people. Okay, now they got a choice maybe, but it's not. There's still maybe people on the other side of the valley that still can't get service because there's no tower that gets them line of sight.
And I really feel like if they would have chose a different location and been able to service the people that can't get service from town, that would have been a better business decision in the long run anyway.
Yeah,
because then
there should have been some kind of rule in there that said you can't, if there's already a broadband company at a certain location, you can't put a tower there. You have to pick a different spot because that would really, we're talking about, this was intended to benefit the people. And that's, I guess, competition is great in capitalism, but it's not meeting the goal of what that was done was to benefit people in rural areas. It's missing the boat a little bit. It's better than nothing, but it's still missing the boat.
I can tell you right now, anyone puts up a tower where I end up getting service out where I live, I'm going to toot that horn everywhere. Everyone's going to know about it.
Yeah, maybe just like a level of service or like levels of grants, like maybe a higher grant if you're providing coverage to an area that didn't previously have coverage. Versus, because I get they put up the tower next to one that's already there because they're already going to get people that have connections there. So paying customers right out the gate. Versus if you're venturing into a brand new space, you don't know what you're getting into. No. But maybe different levels so that there's, more coverage instead of just different coverage in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Michelle's saying, she would be happy to have one choice. She doesn't need two.
Right. Anything that works. Anything that works, honestly, I'd be great.
All right, let's move along. I forgot to do weather at the start. You got a high of 90 today in Chihuahua with sunshine, 57 for an overnight low. A rather cool Saturday. Morning thunderstorms are possible with a 50% chance of rain and a high tomorrow of just 75. Wow. Now get this for your overnight low on Saturday. Here comes fall, 48.
Oh, yeah. That means it'll be 35 at my house.
Yeah, you might even see frost up there.
I'm sure.
All right, Sunday looking for 79 and 50 with sunny skies. Monday, things start to warm up again. 86 and 54 for your high and low and sunshine. By midweek, you're back up at 100. Get that.
What was that low Saturday night there, Scott? I suppose I could pull it up, but
48.
Yeah.
48.
So I'm gonna have to cover
50 on Sunday. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cover my garden with some plastic Saturday night.
That's
note.
funny. All right. We're supposed to have a torrential storm here in Lincoln today, so I'm just kind of waiting for that. It's supposed to happen around 1 o'clock, but we're expecting massive thunderstorms and power outages and winds, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting afternoon. I like a good storm, as long as I'm not broadcasting.
The last couple of days here have been wild.
Yeah, I know. I'm at home and I've got my little wind-up radio checking.
I've never heard because at the golf course, there's an air horn that goes off when there's thunder and lightning detected in the area, and I don't think I've ever heard it go off as many times as I have in the last 2 days.
Did you see that storm day before yesterday? Like Wednesday night, I was in here late with meetings and stuff, and they have road construction between the top of the hill in Chewelah and all the way up to where like the county sheds are. So it's one lane traffic the whole way up. So, my normal trip that takes me 15 minutes to get home took me like 50 minutes. But the whole time, like there's no rain or nothing, but the whole time I'm just watching this supercell storm just crashing with lightning like every 3 seconds. So you see these big lightning bolts just hit the ground, and I'm like, oh God.
It looked like almost like paparazzi. Like there were so many flashes. It just looked like a bunch of people with cameras just taking pictures. It was like, it was awesome.
It was pretty cool, but like I worried because there was no rain with it. But then I guess out towards the reservation they got just dumped on with rain. So hopefully it was enough to keep things wet and not on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing when I was still living in Chewelah, the minute there was lightning and thunder, I was always grabbing for that radio dial, make sure we were still on the air. I hate it.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too. I had my little wind-up radio. I'm like, okay, we're good so far, because like we lost power yesterday, and I didn't lose power the day before, but I was in town so I could keep an eye on things. So, but yeah, once we lose power and the Wi-Fi goes down, I'm like, nope, get my little battery guy. Get going.
All right. So, well, looks like you're going to be maybe watching them tomorrow as well.
Yep. I get to work on the weekend.
Cruising the news headlines today. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just going to tell people, big interview. It's all over the web and TV, but it is also, if you want to find it, it is one of the big stories on Yahoo this morning. Former Attorney General William Barr, a Trump appointee, comes out with stories of Trump's last days in office and trying to overturn election results and all that. Very telling what, and this is one of the former people he picked. And he's kind of coming out and spilling the beans. I'm not going to get into what he talks about, but I think everybody in America needs to read it. That's all I got to say. Everybody needs to read what he's saying. It's very telling. And a lot of people think conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff. This was somebody that was picked by Trump and, was his right-hand man and who he's saying praises about until he said, no, the election wasn't stolen, and then he became an enemy. I think it's important for people to read and see what he has to say, whether you like him or not. All right. Leave that one alone. Russia. Of course, people have banned the import of Russian gas and natural gas, and we're looking for kind of a scary winter in Europe. Russia right now has so much gas that they started burning it yesterday, just lighting it on fire because they have nowhere to sell it and nothing to do with it, and they're overstocked. So they're literally just burning gas, and this is all happening, of course, while Europe's energy bills are skyrocketing, and they're just burning it off.
Well, it's definitely kind of a power play.
They're taunting them. It's like, you guys are paying enormous prices for your fuel, and we've got so much we can just light it on fire.
I hope, though, that they're being intelligent enough to pull the oldest gas out of their reserves and burn that, and then cycle the new gas in. Rotation of
They just got a bunch of stable over there in Russia. They're just pouring it in.
But then what's that doing? They're just burning it off, and we know problems like when Kuwait was on fire. What's that doing to our already taxed ecological system and our ozone layer and all that kind of stuff when they're burning? See if I could find the number real quick. How much they're burning a day? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's probably safe to say they're not doing any, not having electric cars in Russia by 2035.
No.
Yeah, they're saying something like 80 in Britain, like the 80% rise in fuel and energy bills.
Wow.
Crazy.
We're not too far behind them. They say they're burning off an estimated $10 million worth of fuel every day. Wow.
So is this like when we had the supply shortages of other things, you can like use an address or something, billing address from a different country and just order it?
I don't know. How about some good news or something funner at least? Artemis 1 moon mission is still set for liftoff. They haven't canceled it or changed anything. This is going to happen on Monday. You can watch live as NASA launches its new 50 billion mega rocket, biggest rocket we've ever launched. So they're expecting a huge crowd at Kennedy Space Center to watch this. So it's going to be fun. Why are you giggling?
Because I thought you were going to say crash.
No, I'm not going to jinx it like that.
No, it's going to be great.
All right. So I'm going to pull you two. Michelle, you think there's life out there in space on other planets?
I think that space is too vast and too huge and too unpredictable for there not to be something. I don't know, like, what if they would be bipedal or humanoid type, but okay, I'm going to pull out my super nerd self. If like life energy travels on a wave of frequency or vibration, and we have a frequency and vibration that makes us take this shape, then I suppose it's possible that there's other bipedal humanoid type life forms in the universe. But I think there's definitely other things like plant life or mycelial life or bacteria. Of course, that's like one of the easiest ones. But I think there's other stuff out there.
Wow, that was a good answer. You're kind of all sciencey.
A little bit.
All right, can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Could I buy some pot from you?
I don't smoke pot.
And just because you were all out there, that's just picking on you. Sorry. All right, or should I have said, could I buy a potion from you? All right, Phillip, life out there?
Yes. I mean, along the same thing. Like, I just think that we're talking about so much space that there is, the chances that there's not other living things out there seem so, I don't know, small-minded even. Just plus, like, it's exciting to think about just the possibilities. So if there's even a chance that there is, then why not? Why wouldn't you want to hope for it? Right.
Well, if we ever prove it, it's going to rock people's belief systems. It really will, because of the fact that because we've kind of had this thing thrown on us since the dawn of time where we are the center of the universe.
Yeah.
And it will really rock that.
I think that plays into just a lot of humans and their ego, and it's a weird duality, I guess. Like, we have this ego and then we have this constant need for attention from other people, and other whatever. So, like, yeah, we're the center, but we're not. We're so not. And then on the other side of it, on the flip side, like, if you even take the religious spin and you have, like, the whole God created man and everything, but, like, imagine being God. You created this planet, you created this species to live on this planet, and what an utter disappointment we must be. and then you've got how many billions of other planets out there? I mean, wouldn't you just be like, okay, so we're gonna try again over here, because wow.
Yeah. Why stop at one place? Like, I mean, and I just think that not everything Because I think it's pretty common for people to think like that if there was any type of intelligent life, that it would automatically become a threat just because that's the way we are.
No,
but that doesn't have to be the case. Like, couldn't it just be that there's stuff, on other planets and they're doing their thing and we're doing our thing?
Yeah, there's a good possibility that God looked at what we're doing here, and especially after the past few years, makes you wonder, and shook his head and said, I'm going to go try somewhere else.
Right.
You guys are on your own.
Or like we have these specific people that like get abducted by aliens or they just disappear. Maybe he's just like, okay, so you're okay. Let's just move you over here and see what you do with those people. Yeah.
We'll call this new planet Canada.
Well, I wish you'd put me somewhere else. All right. The reason why I asked that question is because NASA's new James Webb Space Telescope has detected carbon dioxide on a distant world in their atmosphere for the very first time.
Yay!
Yes.
Carbon-based life forms.
Yes.
Hopefully they're not like us.
Yes, it opens up the chances for a whole new world. All right. That's all I got on that, though. And that's all pretty much they had. They found it. The new telescope and what it can tell from atmospheres and stuff and the way they deduce that stuff is kind of mind-boggling for me. I can't wrap my head around it, but apparently it works. So
get ready, everyone. We're getting ready to break into a whole new wave of Mandela effects.
All right. Now something that's going to make you maybe a little upset and go, really? So, of course, big deal is this week, President Biden, what would you want to say? Relief for people that maybe have somewhat relief for people that have college loan debt. And depending on your situation and your level of poverty, you can get between $10,000 and $10,000 off of your college debt. If you've got Pell Grants, up to $20,000, all based on income. And it had a lot of Republicans screaming about it. So the White House, this is like dirty pool, you guys. So the White House said, well, you guys like hate this free money thing, huh? And some of the biggest people that were squealing about it, which were, let me get the list out here, Representatives Vern Buchanan of Florida, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania, Mark Wayne Mullen and Kevin Hern of Oklahoma, all had tens of thousands of dollars in the payroll protection program forgivable loans. So these are our senators and our congressmen and women. Let's see. Green said these discounts for the poor and paying off their college debt are unforgivable. She had $183,000 in payroll protection loans forgiven. It gets worse. Let's see. Kelly had almost $1 million, $987,237 forgiven. In fact, they were showing how everyone that was complaining about this had huge amounts.
I'm sure they did.
Government money given because they all have their little side businesses and their side hustles and stuff. And these people that were all screaming about people getting just $10,000 off their college debt have made tens of thousands of dollars off government-free programs themselves.
Of course, they're the first ones to know about them. And then how much do they make? Like, seriously, if you're going to do that, the one about the wages, like how much does that actually take to cover those wages for those people? Like that's, if there was any one thing that I would want to see imposed on those people, we need wage caps. Like they cannot make so much money that they are so disassociated with the way the world actually works and what it costs to live and have a successful life on this planet. It's ridiculous.
These people are multimillionaires already. If anyone could have withstood COVID, these should have been the people to do it. Buchanan himself, $2.3 million in forgivable payroll protection program loans.
Criminal. That's criminal.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it makes you wonder if you could see the list of all of Congress and your senators to see how many people took advantage of that and got money themselves from the government.
Well, and then it goes back to that insider trading thing. Like, how many of them actually knew about this, like, as it is coming to fruition and had their hands in that cookie jar as soon as it opened? You know what I mean? It's like, just sit down and shut up. Just stop.
I was here first.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right.
It's almost like trying to, sell a drug to the people that you own stock in.
Right.
All right. I had another one. This one just a warning. Wife of a Northern California congressman died after using an herbal remedy made with mulberry. So they kind of put out, and I know mulberry is popular for diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol. They have a lot of claims at that. But the herbal remedy is actually blamed for killing her. So
she have an allergy or something?
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. So they're still researching it. It caused inflammation of the stomach and the intestines. So, and some people don't know I actually have this. You can have an internal allergy from something.
Yeah.
I am actually allergic to bananas. Now I could rub the banana on my skin. It's fine. It's when I eat it.
Yeah.
So.
And there are some people I've heard that have like topical allergies to things too. Like you can ingest something, but if you get it on your skin, like kind of the opposite of what you got going on.
All right, we lost Phillip for a second. Here he comes back. All right, here's another one, and it's just I hate racism and prejudice and people picking on other groups. I can't stand that stuff. And it is so alive and well in America. I wonder when we're going to grow up and get by it. A woman arrested after she attacked a group of friends outside a Texas restaurant on Wednesday. Incident was all captured on camera. It's out on the internet now. Woman apparently yelling at the group, "Go back to India," and then actually physically, when she saw that they were starting to film her and call the police, actually physically attacked them. It says on Wednesday, officers from the Plano Police Department in Texas responded to a disturbance that occurred in a parking lot at 60 Vines restaurant in Plano. Upon arrival, several women had claimed that they had been assaulted by another woman. Statements, let's see, it says offense report for assault, bodily injury, and terroristic threats. The woman, Esmeralda Upton, they have totally outed her. Arrested on Thursday. One charge of assault and bodily injury, one charge of terroristic threats, and arrested and put on a $10,000 bond, and of course humiliated for life on Facebook. It just makes me
terrible.
It is. When are we going to stop this? We're all immigrants.
Right.
Unless you're a Native American, you're an immigrant.
Right. I'm going to tie this back into your whole life on other planets thing. We wonder why they don't visit us. We can't even get along with the people that are born on the same planet. Or have a collective consensus of maybe we shouldn't mess up the air that is stuck in the bubble that we all share.
That's right.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that if there's other life out there, they're like, okay, so we're going to put a pin in this idea until they are a little smarter.
It's just like when COVID first started, there was all those stories about people from Asia and China getting beat up because of the Chinese flu.
Right.
And it's so sad to hear about.
Or even just treated
me
poorly.
and you, Phillip, have an Asian friend.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. And when she moved, she's never had any problems here in Cheweel, but she moved over to northern Idaho, and she's to the point where she's afraid to go out because people tell her to go home and all sorts of stuff. They're horrible to her.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah. And it just shows a level of human ignorance that I'm hoping we can learn how to move beyond.
Wow.
It's gross.
This is, if you're racist, listen up. Racism is perpetuated by families. You get it from your parents. At some point, you got to break that mold.
Well,
you got to break it because that has been it's like racism is hereditary. It's ridiculous.
Kind of, but I have to say that it really comes down to a personal responsibility. Like you have to do some serious assessing of yourself and what kind of a person or human being that you want to be. Because with all of the culture of like this whole holistic ideology and this like ascension and the yoga and the meditation and becoming a better person and doing all your inner self work and all of that stuff like is so prevalent in the culture around us, and it's growing all the time. Like at some point, yeah, you can blame your parents, but at another point, like you're grown. So when do you make the decision to not be an ugly human being and, you know, grow your thought process a little bit more as an adult human being? Like I really there's some things that like if you're young and you're ignorant and you're kind of still trapped in that familial bubble where you go home every day and that's your life and you're still growing as a human being, then sure, you can blame it to some extent on your parents and your upbringing and all of that. But once you get out on your own, like you can definitely choose what kind of human being you want to be.
All right, moving along then. You know, we've got the COVID still lingering, and then we got this monkeypox thing. How about something new?
Attack of the killer tomatoes! Attack of the killer tomatoes! They'll beat you, bash you, squish you, mash you, chew you up for brunch, and finish you off for dinner or lunch.
What am I up to? Well, we got a new one. It's called the tomato flu. Where are they coming up with these names?
Stay away
who's
from
in
that
charge
soup.
of names?
Stay away from that soup.
The tomato flu. Now they're saying it is not deadly. They're trying to figure out what's causing it. They say it could be part of it seems to be attacking children. Could be part of hoof and mouth disease, they say. At least 82 children in India have become infected so far, and they're getting a rash and lumps. But the eruption of these red and painful blisters are throughout the body, and they gradually enlarge to the size of a tomato.
Cherry tomato?
No, it says tomato. It doesn't say cherry tomato.
So what they got like all these
stick?
big like red lumpy globules all over them?
Oh, it's horrible. All right.
Oh.
They think it might be related to dengue fever or some other kind of viral infection. Still trying to figure it out, but they got 82 kids so far in India that have come down with that. So scary. Because I'm sure they haven't went, we should stop flights.
Oh, my gosh.
Coming your way. All right. Let's see. I think we can, we're looking at 8:02. I almost gave you East Coast time. Sorry about that. It is KCHW Chihuahua. Let's move on this morning to bits and breaks, you guys. We just had a few of them. And as you guys get there, I'll start off with a couple of the quick topics for this morning. The last thing you purchased has now grown 10 times in size. What's the last thing you bought, Michelle?
I'm thinking. The last thing I purchased was some kind of hamburger from Sporty's.
So it is now 10 times. That sounds delicious.
I know. I'm so hungry. I never eat breakfast before I start the morning show. And we get like almost to break and my insides are like becoming a demon inside my body. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Right. Phillip, last thing you bought?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Oh, wow. You're going to have to go to the bathroom a lot today because it's now 10 times the size.
Raspberry iced tea.
Nice.
Ooh, all right. Delicious.
Yeah.
So last thing I bought was a mixing board, and it is now 10 times its size. Cool.
Whoa.
How many channels does it have?
Yeah. That'd be like, I don't know. I think it was a 16-channel board. So,
Ooh,
wow, 160 channels.
channels?
No, but in my own recording studio with that.
We're such
Only
nerds.
problem is I bought it used, and a lot of the channels don't work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I get for going to a pawn shop.
Oh, bum.
All right. I like this one, too, and it said dumb things moms ask. And one of the gals says, I worked at the Dollar Tree, and my mom asked if I get an employee discount. You work at the dollar store. Do you really need a discount?
Oh, God.
Maybe it's a $1.25 store.
Oh, I know. That's angered a lot of people. All right. Any dumb questions your mom's ever asked you that you can come up with in your head quickly?
I was trying to think. I was going to say, my mom's pretty smart. She typically doesn't ask dumb questions about work.
Last dumb question my mom asked me was, did you vote for Trump?
She really asked you that?
Yeah. No, Mom. No, I didn't. All right. That takes us to Michelle and the wisdom of moms.
Oh, great.
It's perfect for you. It's perfect for you. This is actually, by the end of it, it gets kind of sad.
So it's kind of funny. Like, when I was a kid, my mom always asked me, when are you going to grow up? Well, I'm working on it, Mom. I'm only 7. Jeez.
The funny thing is you're not any taller today.
I know. Okay.
Me either.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't have any sound effects to throw at you.
Get on it.
All right. At the age of 4, Mom knows everything. Wealth of knowledge.
Totally.
At the age of 8, Mom knows a lot. At the age of 12, Mom doesn't really know everything. Age 14, Mom doesn't know anything. Age of 16, Mom doesn't exist. Age of 18, Mom's old-fashioned. Age of 25, maybe Mom knows about this. Age of 35, before we decide, let's ask Mom. Age of 45, I wonder what Mom thinks about this. At the age of 75, I wish I could ask Mom about this.
Oh, that's sad. I can still ask my mom stuff, so I appreciate that. Very sad, but cute.
Right.
Cute all the way around. You know that you do it's, and so much of that is like spot on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I look back now at my life at 56 years old and go, wow, my mom was right about so much stuff except politics.
So is it, I have to ask, is it the same for boys as it is for girls? Because so far I've only raised daughters, and when they get to about 15, they kind of, they go a little fruity. But is it the same for boys? Like, when you get to 14 to 16, like, they go through the same thing where, yeah, your parents don't know nothing?
My parents at that age, midway into high school, my parents were the last people I wanted to hang out with. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one son.
I think after spending, 16 years with anybody, though, you get a little burned out. You lifelong married people know that.
Right.
Yikes.
Ow, oops. All right, you get the guys in brown. It's UPS's birthday today. Here's Phillip to tell us their milestones, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Postal Service celebrates its 115th birthday.
And you said that wrong. It's parcel.
Yeah. Duly noted.
All right.
Did I say it wrong?
I think you said Postal Service, but it's parcel. Yeah.
All right. We'll believe you.
Okay.
1907, 19-year-old James Casey borrowed $100 from a friend to establish the American Messenger Company in Seattle, Washington. Huh. And looks like in response to telephone calls received at their basement headquarters, messengers ran errands and delivered packages and carried notes and baggage and trays of food from restaurants.
The very first, what is it? Uber
DoorDash.
Eats. Yeah.
Well, there's so much history here. The company acquired its first delivery car in 1913. It was a Model T Ford, and it was the merchant's parcel delivery. Let's see. The company made its first expansion beyond Seattle into Oakland, California in 1919. In 1924, it debuted another technological innovation, and it was the first conveyor belt system handling packages. UPS became the first package delivery company to provide air service via privately operated airlines in 1929. In 1975, UPS became the first package delivery company to serve every address in the continental United States. And then UPS Next Day Air in 1985 became the first air delivery network to reach every address in 48 contiguous states, including Hawaii and Puerto Rico. And let's see, the first intercontinental air service between the U.S. and Europe. And then in 2001, UPS entered the retail business, acquiring mailboxes, etc., the world's largest franchisor of retail shipping, postal, and business service centers. Within 2 years, approximately 3,000 mailboxes, etc., locations in the U.S. rebranded to the UPS store.
Town I live in, you can't get much. You know, they got lots of hardware stores, lots of coffee stands, but as far as finding stuff, there's some pretty big gaps in this town. So you got to go to the city or order online. So I would say that is one of the most exciting parts of my day is when that big brown truck pulls up.
I thought you moved away from Chewelah.
Oh, burn!
You know what's great though? I don't mind living in places where you can't get much because, like, that means you can't get things like monkeypox or tomato flu.
COVID numbers way down.
Right?
I think you just gotta wait longer.
You know, that was
it eventually gets there.
Well, that was one of my thoughts when all this stuff started going on, and they're like, you know, like, I don't think Amazon ever shut down throughout the whole COVID thing. I'm like, you're just, you know, coughing it along.
No.
Down the conveyor belt it goes, taped up and shipped right to your home.
What if the problem with COVID was the Postal Service, UPS, and FedEx? They spread it around the country.
Actually, I've never been to a UPS store, but it turns out that's where you, like, when you buy stuff from Amazon, you need to return it. Like, they just give you a code and you just bring it to the UPS store and they scan the little code and thank you, bye.
Yeah, and as soon as they scan that code, like, it doesn't even have to go back through processing or get sent back through the mail. As soon as they scan that code and you return it, you get refunded your money. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had ordered some shorts or something, and they just came the wrong color, not the ones that I ordered. And so they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll refund this to you. Just return these shorts in the next 30 days." Like the honor system. I was like, "But all right, I'll do that."
You don't like that?
Yeah, wasn't like pushy, like you need to do it tomorrow.
Right.
All right, speaking of shopping, I've got things you can only find at Walmart.
Shame.
This isn't trivia, is it? Because I don't shop at Walmart. So if this is trivia, I'm just going to bomb it.
Oh, good. No, it isn't trivia yet. I haven't played the theme song. But this is things you can only find at Walmart put together. It doesn't say who put it together. I stole it, though. Gwinnett County, Georgia. Woman stayed at a Walmart for 3 days. So maybe this is only things you can see at Walmart. Salinas, California, Walmart. Couple tried to sell a baby for $25 in the Walmart parking lot.
Oh,
they were arrested before they could make the sale thanks to a sharp Walmart employee. What?
Mom, I told you couldn't sell my brother.
Well, how old of a baby, I wonder? Because, like, there's places you can take your children if you don't think you can handle it. My guess is maybe it wasn't their baby.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know. Only at Walmart.
All right, something I wish I would have been present for at the Walmart in Canton, Ohio. A man relieved himself on $600 worth of steaks.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. Just jumped up there and on the thing, I guess, and went to the bathroom.
I didn't realize they had $600
See, like
steaks there.
I wouldn't take. Have you seen the price of beef? It would not take, but probably a 4x4 area of meat to cover take $600. So.
Yeah, it's just the meat. Every time I've been there, it's just like completely everything's gone, basically.
I wonder if he was like an angry vegan.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have his cut. So he was just, shaming the lesser cuts.
Don't you
At a Louisiana Walmart, a man was arrested after he stole a motorized shopping cart and drove it to a nearby bar. According to the man, he'd been drinking and he didn't want to get charged with the DUI. When police arrived at the bar, they found the shopping scooter parked between two cars in the parking lot.
I bet you that happens often. Like maybe not the bar, but people always take carts and stuff like that. I don't know if it's as big a problem over here, but I do know that at Safeway they stopped having the hand baskets because people were just leaving with them when they instituted the bag policy. Like they don't have the hand baskets because people would load up their basket and then just walk right out of Safeway with them.
Oh, I suppose instead of using a bag, just take the basket and keep it for next time.
Yep.
That's horrible. All right, St. Augustine, Florida. A customer found a 5-foot-long dead shark in his shopping cart outside the Walmart store.
Steaks.
Myrtle Beach, employees tried to stop a shoplifter as she was leaving the store, but she punched one of the employees in the head, and bit down on another employee's finger, biting the good portion of the finger off.
Oh.
Only at Walmart.
Fair play.
All right. In Arizona, into Walmart, a man shot himself in the groin after a semi-automatic handgun that was being held in the man's waistband began to slip. The gun, which was not in a holster, discharged as the man attempted to reposition it. When police officers responded, the man was found in the meat section. The same guy? No, couldn't be. Couldn't be. Could it? All right, just about to trivia. A couple wacky but true classifieds. All right. This one says, this ad said, wanted somebody to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. You'll get paid after we get back. You must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. I've only done this once before.
What's the number? I'm calling it.
Yeah, I want to meet this guy. How about some used toilet paper? I have a wide selection of brands and designs. Call for details.
What?
Tombstone in standard grade. Be a good buy for somebody named Grady. That's going to be a hard find. Honda Civic, AM, FM, CD player, low miles, good condition, speaks Spanish.
Wow.
For sale, a collection of old people. Oh, look at somebody's selling the U.S. Capitol. Huh. Collection of old people. All right, here's an ad for a human skull, used only once, not plastic.
Used for what?
Still attached.
All right, here's something fun for anybody's home. It's the GE Mammogram Dishwasher.
Do you use the door?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, be careful closing it. Only $45, and it's in good condition. All right. And the last one, China cabinet, buffet, hutch, solid pine, 6.5 feet tall, 4.5 feet wide, lighted windows, few cat scratches, but the cat has been killed, $700. All right. All right. You guys up for the challenge? I hope so, because it is time for a little trivia before we go to break.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. First up, what's unique about the words fast? Oh.
You can't say them.
Fast and the Furious. Fastius and abstemious. So Facetious and abstemious, Abstemious. Don't ask me what they mean, but what is unique about those words.
Oyus.
Wait, spell them again.
Facetious and Abstemious.
AIOUS.
It's the same thing Michelle said. No.
No.
Maybe that they have all of the vowels in like one block.
Ding, 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 ding. All the vowels are in order.
That's what I just said.
You said IOUS. That didn't mean anything.
AEIOUS.
All right, I'll give you both credit on that then. Okay. You feel better, Phillip?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No.
I'll work on it. All right, what is the only U.S. state with no straight lines in its borders?
Hawaii.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Look at you. Some would say he's cheating.
He has a map.
3.5 million Americans age 85 and older are still doing this.
Depends.
Jazzercise.
I don't want to see either one of those. 3.5 million Americans aged 85 and older still doing this. Scary.
I don't want to say it out loud.
Skiing.
Loving. Is that what you're saying? They're still loving?
Yeah.
No, that's not it. And skiing isn't it either, but both great guesses. There was a parody about this done to a Willie Nelson song.
Smoking?
No.
Let's see.
Ready? Any last guesses?
No.
Your hint is blue hairs driving in my lane.
Oh, I was going to guess driving.
Yep, 85 and older. 3.5 million Americans still driving. All right, Pittsburgh has one school named after him. New York has one. Also, New Jersey has two, and California has two. So these are schools named after him. He's a fairly recent figure. What's his name?
I don't know. What type of figure?
Political.
Time period? Or that
recent.
Too much? Recent.
It's recent. Yep. Pittsburgh has one school named after him. New York has one also. New Jersey has two. California has two, named after this political figure, who is a recent political figure. Recent.
Obama?
It is Obama.
Oh, okay.
So there's a Barack Obama High School. All right. And like I said, New York, Pittsburgh, New Jersey, California. It seems a little soon.
I don't know. I mean,
did he attend there?
Rumor has it that there's going to be the first Donald Trump High School, but the thing is, you get to make up your own grades.
I bet all the teachers just argue all the time.
Yeah, I made that joke up on the spot.
Just steal the transcripts and then keep them to yourself.
I stole all my grades from the high school. They're never going to know. All right. Where will you find Jake the Jailbird?
In cartoons?
No.
Jake the Jailbird.
I don't.
Just like a physical location or abstract?
Oh. He's in a game. He's in a board game.
Oh, is it Monopoly?
It is. And why would you say that? Where do you find Jake?
In jail.
He's the cartoon character in the jail in the corner of the Monopoly board. Jake.
It's like
Do not pass go.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one, go straight to jail.
Nope.
Huh,
Or
I never knew that.
Visiting.
Me either. Never noticed. I know there's something behind the bars, but I never noticed it was a bird.
Yep.
All right. So after the U.S., what country has more Americans living in it?
Canada?
Negative.
Puerto Rico.
Negative.
Wait, that's a state now, isn't it? Or something that's weird.
Yeah. That's like a territory, so that doesn't count.
Japan.
Negative.
China.
You guys are way too far away.
Mexico?
Mexico. That's right. After the U.S., Mexico has the most Americans living in it. Awesome. All right. How about a trick question? Oh, these are tough. Cowboy rides into town on Friday, leaves 3 days later on Friday. How does he do it?
The horse is named Friday?
Yeah.
Exactly right, Phillip.
Nice.
Wow. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants. Huh. All right, let's do just a couple more and we'll go to break. Average person gets a new one of these every 4 weeks.
Haircut.
That's good. You're kind of warm, but that's not it. Be a little grosser.
I knew one of these. I don't know.
It's on you.
Fingernail?
No, a new layer of skin. Ew. I guess we need it. Two of these occur.
Epidermis is showing.
Oh, quick, hide my epidermis. Two of these. That's good. Two of these occur every minute somewhere in the world. What are they?
Births. Phenomenon.
Yeah.
I said births, but.
Wait,
two of these occur every minute somewhere in the world.
Like a geyser or earthquake.
Earthquake. There you go. 1920s. What was banned in most theaters and why?
Smoking?
No. 1920s.
Oh, drinking. Prohibition.
No. It's very popular at theaters today.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Do you know why, though?
People were spitting it on the floor.
It's considered too noisy. What?
Oh. Well,
popcorn isn't noisy.
But you think about the sound quality of their moving pictures back then. They already sounded like popcorn.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that was the problem. All right. Spy the lie. Hair grows the slowest in the morning shortly after you wake up. 7 million pennies are thrown away each day. And a woman's heart beat faster than men's. Which one's the lie?
The first one.
Phillip?
I'm going to go with the pennies.
No, 7 million pennies are thrown away every day. I wish I had them.
Right.
All right. And you were right, Michelle. It is your hair. The lie. That's the lie. It actually grows slowest at night. It speeds up in the morning, slows in the afternoon, and grows faster again in the evening. Also, hair grows faster in the summer than in the winter. Check
that
my
makes sense.
I knew the heartbeat thing because, like, when you're a woman and you have children, they check for the heartbeat of the baby, and a girl's heartbeat is always faster than a boy's.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh.
7 million pennies a day.
I know, right?
It doesn't make any sense. Why?
People don't like pennies.
People hate pennies. That's right.
Yeah, but that's so much.
The average one of these weighs 170 pounds, and I would love to pick one up. What is it?
Middle-aged woman.
That's exactly right. Did I make the hint too easy?
I didn't think that's what it was, but okay.
That was really the right answer?
That was the right answer. I thought I gave too good of a hint because I would love to pick one up.
I'll be specific.
Yeah. All right. One more spy the lie. The avocado is called the alligator pear. Paganophobia is the fear of beards. The classic yellow pad of paper was an accident when a worker at a factory mixed the wrong dye. Which one's a lie? The avocado, paganophobia, which has been on the show before, or the classic yellow pad of paper, an accident.
I don't think it's the...
It's a tough one. I'm going to go with the paper.
I'm
You
going
say that's
with the
a lie?
I'm going with the avocado.
Avocado is considered an alligator pear. I'm sorry, Phillip.
Huh.
All right. Paganophobia is the fear of beards, and the classic yellow pad of paper was not an accident at a factory mixing the wrong dye. All right. Good job, Michelle. Good job, Phillip, both of you. All right. You each got your talents, and pretty amazed that you knew I was looking for a 170-pound woman.
Just don't throw your back out trying to pick one up.
All right. We've got a whole bunch of goofy holidays that take us through the weekend, and we're going to feed those to you next, as well as some odd news. Stick around at your KCHW Morning Show.
listening to 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, August 26, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. Members of a Texas group working to end mass incarceration thought they were making headway. Now they are not so sure. More on that from Ross Brown.
Faith in Texas has ideas for how Dallas County could reduce the prison population by 25% and receive support from a county judge to draft a proposal. But group organizer Joe Swanson says the reform talks have stalled, and the Dallas County Commissioners have appointed a committee to determine if a new jail should be built. Swanson says reform is an important conversation, especially because people of color are incarcerated at significantly higher rates than white people across the country.
We can either put our heads in the sand and close our ears and our eyes and pretend that that's just a coincidence, or we can do something about it in a way that's not just the status quo of, well, new jail. And I think that that's really important to name. This is systemic racism at work.
One commissioner argued a new jail might be appropriate because the county has a dated criminal justice system and needs new ways of doing things.
The U.S. has 5% of the world's population, but holds almost 25% of the world's prisoners. That's about 2.2 million people, according to the Vera Institute of Justice. Farmers of color in Minnesota expected to see new opportunities to get their products into school lunch programs. Their advocates say a major funding boost from the federal government paves the way for producers who may have struggled to reach customers.
This week, the USDA announced a $3.5 million expansion of a program to help the state facilitate purchasing of locally grown foods for school cafeterias. Nikki Warner of the nonprofit food hub The Good Acre says she likes the program's emphasis on working with the state's increasingly diverse group of farmers, including Hmong, Latino, and Black producers.
BIPOC farmers, not just in Minnesota, but across the country, have faced more barriers to participating in wholesale markets, even in direct markets, like at a farmer's market.
She says it's especially timely because some farmers markets have yet to return to pre-pandemic levels. And the Minnesota Farmers Union says the program offers not only a bigger market for independent farmers, but also helps them earn a fair price for their products in an era of market concentration. I'm Mike Moen.
Now, from the New York Times, a federal judge Thursday ordered that a redacted version of the affidavit used to obtain a warrant for former President Donald Trump's. The Times notes the decision by the judge there, Bruce E. Reinhart, came just hours after the Justice Department submitted its proposal for extensive redactions to the document in an effort to shield witnesses from intimidation or retribution. This is PNS. Reactions keep pouring in following this week's student loan forgiveness announcement by President Joe Biden in South Dakota. The trade school community says affordability is on the mind of leaders right now, too. Biden's action means millions of borrowers are poised to see their remaining loan balances forgiven with specific caps and income requirements. It is meant for those with a direct federal loan. Nick Wendell is with the South Dakota Board of Technical Education.
If we're not addressing some of the underlying factors, we're going to be back in this same position in 5 and 10 years with a huge number of folks in our population that had to incur debt to get a degree.
In the face of those challenges, Wendell says they've tried to control costs, including a recent tuition freeze, but there had been incremental increases since 2017. Still, the board says the state's technical schools are a good option for future students worried about taking on too much debt. And with the new school year beginning, Virginia parents are being urged to keep an eye on their children's mental health. Edwin J. Vieira has more.
According to Mental Health America, 79,000, or 13%, of children in Virginia have experienced a severe major depressive episode in the past year. Dr. Asha Patton-Smith, a Virginia child psychiatrist, says there are many ways parents can help provide their kids the support they'll need. She describes some of the signs parents should look out for that might signal a mental health concern.
Some of the main things that come up are changes in sleep, changes in appetite, increased social isolation, increased irritability, challenges with patients not wanting to separate from their parents, so social emotional attachment issues.
Other signs to watch for are panic or anxiety symptoms and kids complaining of headaches or stomach aches.
According to Mental Health America, 79,000, about 13% of kids in Virginia, have experienced a severe major depressive episode in the past year. Finally, Suzanne Potter tells us local leaders are pressing the Congress to create a new wildlife refuge in Riverside County.
Senators Dianne Feinstein and Alex Padilla recently introduced the Western Riverside National Wildlife Refuge Act, and Congressman Ken Calvert introduced the House version this spring. Aaron Hake is with the Riverside County Transportation Commission, which manages the Western Riverside County Regional Conservation Authority.
The exact location of where the refuge will be is not yet defined. If these bills pass, it will then be up to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to decide where they would like to acquire land to establish the refuge.
I'm Suzanne Potter.
This is Mike Clifford. Thank you for ending your week with Public News Service, member and listener supported. We're heard on interesting radio stations, your favorite podcast platform, and find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
And we're back. It's KCHW Chihuahua 102.7 FM. Looking at 8:36 as we fill in the last segment of our show. We're going to get started with local birthdays in just a minute. But you guys, Phillip and Michelle, you know what the worst part of my new digs in Maine are?
What?
It is the stackable washer and dryer, because I am too short to see what's on the bottom of the dryer. I'm always like this, just digging in there, seeing if I got another sock or whatever, because I can't actually see in it.
You need a little step stool.
I do. All right. Please send step stool for Scott.
Or a ladder.
I know that feeling.
I'm not that short.
Like a little rope ladder.
Oh, that's just mean.
In my dryer.
You just crawl in.
All right, Michelle, how about some birthdays taking us through the weekend and Monday?
All right. So Friday, August 26th. Happy birthday to Barb Prozek, and happy anniversary to Paul and Jessica Setti. That's pretty cool. Saturday, we have no one on the calendar for Saturday. So if you have a birthday or anniversary for August 27th, please check out our link to the Lions Club and get your information on there so we can mention you on the radio. Sunday, August 28th, happy birthday to Kona Ross Dukas, and happy anniversary to Brett and Courtney Buria. And August 29th, happy birthday to Jessica Cochran, Megan Jensen, Tanner Noland, and happy anniversary to Sharon and Gino Ludwig.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. All sorts of people you know and love. You see them around town, point and laugh and tell them we were talking about them on the radio. Don't tell them what we said. And a big round of applause for everybody having a birthday. All right. Few celebrity birthdays through the weekend. Phillip.
Yeah, we've got, let's see, Chris Burke for today. Chris Burke turned 57. Melissa McCarthy is 52. Macaulay Culkin is 42. Chris Pine is 42. And John Mulaney is 40. Going on to Saturday, we've got Paul Rubens is 70. Tom Ford is 61. Cesar Millan is 53. And Aaron Paul is 43. And then on Sunday, we've got Ken Jenkins is 82. David Soul is 79. Daniel Stern is 65. Jack Black is 53. And Armie Hammer is 36.
All right. I think you skipped Pee Wee Herman, who's 70. Pee Wee Herman is 70. Oh my gosh.
Is he still alive? Clearly, he must be.
Sure, it'll last longer. All right, sorry. Looking at a little bit of history. We're running late on time. We'll just do a couple from today. 1910, Mother Teresa was born Agnes, I can't even say the last name, Bojaxu, in Skopje, Macedonia. That's all tough to say. Forgive me. All right, 1939, Major League Baseball was televised for the first time as experimental station W2XBS, broadcast a doubleheader between Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field. I wonder what that sounded like, first baseball broadcast.
I bet that was awesome.
1961, International Hockey Hall of Fame opened in Toronto. 1974, aviation pioneer Charles Lindbergh passed away at the age of 74. 2003, investigators concluded NASA's overconfident management and inattention to safety doomed the Space Shuttle Columbia as much as the damage to the craft did. And in 2006, a man robbed a New Jersey bank. He made one small mistake that cost him most of his profits. He forgot to bring a bag to put the money in. Man demanded money from tellers as he entered the bank. He then jumped over the teller's counter and emptied $1,385 in cash. As he ran away from the scene of the crime, he ended up dropping at least $1,195, or at least 86% of what he had stolen.
Oh.
2009, narrowest house in New York City, only 9.5 feet across. I've seen this. It's crazy. It went up for sale with an asking price of $2.75 million. Wow.
What?
Yes.
I wonder how long it was.
How tall is it?
It's really narrow, but it does have a couple floors. So
weird.
Yep. 2017, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. You know, it's actually funny how much of his first appointees actually went to jail. Does that say anything?
What's funny to me is like us less than 5 years ago and they want to include it in history. Like, come on.
All right, 2018, that's boring. Danny Boyle pulled out of the directing the James Bond film No Time to Die due to creative differences. And last one here, 2020, Milwaukee Bucks forfeited their NBA playoff game after the shooting of Jacob Blake, leading to the NBA postponing some more games. Moving on to special events through the weekend with Michelle.
All right.
Yeah, this person's hilarious.
I know, right? Today is Forgive Your Foe Friday. So if you have a foe out there, today is the day to forgive them. All right. Make Your Own Luck Day. So hopefully you're lucky with the forgiving your foes. Musical Yoga Day.
What does that look like?
You know, over the weekend at my little retreat, I got to do yoga while someone played the cello. It was pretty fantastic.
All right.
Cherry Popsicle Day, Dog Day, and Women's Equality Day. In just a moment. Sorry, I had to get ready for this one. This one's important. Okay. It's Toilet Paper Day. And it's important because it's not to be confused with Toilet Paper Appreciation Day. In 1890, toilet paper on a dispensing roll was patented by the founders of today's Scott brand of paper products. Appropriate to have it on this show.
Yes.
Toilet paper itself dates back to about 1,500 years to China, but didn't develop until the mid-19th century. Some perforated and medicated versions were available in America before the Scott product, but weren't successful. So your history lesson on toilet paper.
I wish I owned that company.
Well, you've got your name on it.
Mine. It's all mine.
I can actually spell it S-C-O-T. Scout.
Scoats?
Scout brand.
All right, how about for, let's see, Saturday?
All right. Saturday. Just Because Day. Just because. It's also Kiss Me Day. And Banana Lovers Day. Petroleum Day.
Why would you have a day to honor petroleum?
We're not going to get into that. Okay. Speak Kind Words Day. Tarzan Day. And Rock, Paper, Scissors Day.
I had no idea it's Tarzan Day. Phillip, will you be dressing up again?
Yes. I mean, you can't do, you got to make it 8 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is it more dressing up or dressing down?
Yeah, it's more about freedom.
All right, now we're all picturing you
and it's paper, scissors,
in
rock.
a leotard.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Why is it paper, scissors, rock?
I don't know. That's always what I've called it.
Okay.
You're my friend, but you did it wrong. Okay. Sunday, read comics in public day. Bow tie day, cherry turnovers day. Oh, my favorite. Power Rangers day. Radio commercial day, red wine day. And sacrifice our wants for others' needs Sunday. Okay.
And now a word from Phillip.
I can dig it.
It's Tarzan Day. All right. Wrapping up our show. Well, here we go.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
You know, I thought I'd peek at entertainment real quick to see if there was any cool new movies that are going to be out this weekend, and I don't see anything. I don't see anything. All right. In fact, it's so bad they're re-releasing Rogue One, Star Wars.
That wasn't even really that good.
And it wasn't that good, but that's how bad they're hurting for movies. They're re-releasing one of the old Star Wars movies from 2016. So there you go. All right. I'm still waiting. I heard they were holding all these movies through COVID. You know, they were holding back release. When are they going to start releasing the good movies? I'm still waiting.
Let's get that list from the Epstein Black Book, and we might find out why we don't have any movies.
Oh. It's his fault? Okay. All right, we start off the news attack. First part is true on this news attack. The second part's a big fat lie. And Michelle, will you take us off?
Yes. Let's take off to where a passenger tried to open a door on a plane flying out of China, but was subdued by airline staff and passengers. Come on, man. It's all right. Airplane food isn't that bad.
What makes somebody try to do that? Is your claustrophobia just get too bad all of a sudden?
It's like, oh, I'm scared. I think death will be better. I don't know. I don't
For
care.
everyone.
Right.
All right, Phillip.
School has started up. For those of you speeding through school zones, I've got news for you. Just because you have a golden doodle in the SUV doesn't mean you can do 20 in dog miles per hour.
Is that like times 7?
I guess so.
Ooh.
All right. NASA says our Milky Way galaxy has at least 300 million habitable planets. Wow, 300 million? But ours has the most streaming channels.
Yes.
Yay, Earth.
All right.
Michelle.
The average new car loan in the U.S. is now $40,000. I have a neighbor who gets a new truck every 3 years, a new boat every 4 years, a new motorcycle every 5 years, and a new bankruptcy lawyer every 6 years.
Yay.
Is that really how you spell bankruptcy?
That's what I was thinking, too.
No, I think there's a C, missing a C there.
It's like bank erupcy. I want a bank to erupcy right into my account.
Yes.
A woman in UK called police after she came home from work and found her home cleaner than it was when she left. I feel like we've heard this before. She was disappointed to find out it was a maid service that had the wrong address, not a magical visit from her fairy crud mother.
Wish I had a fairy crud mother. The number of U.S. coffee shops is now around 35,600. So 35,000 Starbucks and the rest of them.
Right.
True story.
Jeez. So I wonder if they ever
Go ahead. I was just going to say, like 9 of them are in Chewelah.
I hope they got rid of that weird coffee lemonade drink that we were talking about.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I think it's back to you, Michelle.
A school district in Missouri has reinstated spanking as a form of punishment. If the teacher's that bad, why not just fire them?
Oh, we're spanking the teachers now. I'm going back to school.
I'm glad you said it.
I'm not gonna let you.
How about this? How about this one? I'm coming for you, Gino. All right, Phillip.
In a survey of adults, over a third of the people questioned picked their nose more than 5 times a day, and 34% ate what they picked.
Oh, no, that's not true. Say it's not true.
The other 2/3 supported a catch and release strategy and only ate the ones that were fully grown.
That's so gross.
Wow. Wow. Over a third of people. And that third, 34% of them eat it. Okay. Another reason to leave the planet. I'm going to start off with some pink panties because they look good on me. And a homeowner in Spain awoke to find something strange lying next to him in a bed. A stranger wearing pink panties. And yes, it was a male. The pink panty bandit and the underwear belonged to the homeowner's daughter. All right. After being awakened, the stranger hopped out of bed, leapt through a window, and fell 10 feet to the ground, where police easily scooped him up in his pink panties. Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. Guy breaks into your house, steals your daughter's underwear, puts them on, gets in bed with you.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Okay.
All right, Michelle, just take over.
I'm okay. I'm just going to leave that where it was.
Just the visuals are good enough.
Oh, God. No, it's not good. A 50-year-old woman in Germany shocked a would-be thief into submission when she ran screaming and trapped the man in her car after seeing him rummaging around in search of stuff to steal. The woman had just unloaded a small refrigerator from her car when she saw a man had opened the door and was kneeling on the back seat. She ran up screaming, pushed the man in, and held him there. He was so shocked he didn't try to escape. I like it.
What about the other door on the other side?
I don't know.
How about this? She was actually, after she thought about it.
I set my trap for a peasant, and lo, I catch a prince.
Oh, bonus. All right, Phillip.
After a shopper in South Africa complained a mannequin placed face down on a bed was in bad taste, the store discovered it was an employee taking a nap.
Welcome to Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm like right now I'm in the Beyond.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm going to go anymore.
All right, so this one's kind of touchy. On Tuesday morning, a woman was walking her dog near a lake in the German city of Hamburg. And suddenly a man appeared and began to insult the woman and her 2 companions. Doesn't say what the insults were. Those shoes, that dress. The woman pulled out her phone to call the police, and the argument escalated as the man then exposed himself in front of the women. The arguments got out of control even further, and the man spotted a dead seagull on the ground and then started to beat the woman with the dead seagull. Mm-hmm. Who does this? Police were alerted and came immediately, arrested the man. No word on what happened to the seagull. All right.
Well.
Hold on.
I'm picking up a heavy, creepy vibe here.
Yes.
Oh, it's so much fun to go on walks now.
Oh, the adventures.
Yes.
All right. A man in Cobb County, Georgia, called police to report a suspicious person. The man told him he was an officer with the Cobb County Police Department. Jared R. Spencer is not an officer with that department, as responding officers should well know. When they arrived and ordered Spencer out of his car. They said he claimed he was an officer with a different police department. Spencer is not an officer there either. Apparently, to explain why he was hanging around that neighborhood, Spencer also allegedly told officers he was a real estate agent, but the Georgia Real Estate Commission had no record of a person licensed in that name. Spencer was arrested, charged with loitering, prowling, criminal trespassing, and felony impersonation of a public officer on multiple counts.
Hold on.
They were fake?
Of course they were fake. Yeah. All right, Phillip, take us out of here.
Somebody was biking around the Kendall campus of Miami-Dade College with a military-style knapsack, who calls it that, and a rifle. So the campus was locked down and people were told over loudspeakers to seek shelter and await further instruction. Eventually, police managed to detain the scary bicyclist and identify the rifle as an umbrella.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
Florida.
Run away!
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Everyone from Florida is stupid. Everyone from Florida is dumb. I might not be the brightest guy, but next to them my IQ's high. If they had guitars, here's how they'd strum.
And there you go. That is our odd news for what's today, guys?
Friday.
And one more time for Phillip. Enjoying Tarzan Day. And Michelle, what's going on? Anything happening this weekend?
Actually, yes. And I didn't know about it earlier in the week, but this weekend at the Loon Lake Food Bank, they are having a flea market. I know that they do have some vending spots still available, so it will be in the community calendar when I do my announcements for the weather and all of that. Make sure you tune into that at 12:30 to get the phone number on which you can contact them and find out if there's booth space available. And if you don't want to vend, go check them out anyway.
And then we've got our own farmers market in the city park today that fires up at 11 and runs until 3:30. Scrolling through my phone, I've been getting a lot of texts from the school district. They've had a lot going on. I know they had an open house last night, but I also, and I'm trying to find it here, I've got one. Here it is. Attention parents. Gratitude to a local church in our community. We're able to provide new school shoes to guest students in need. If you need assistance, please contact the Blue Desk at Guest Elementary by calling 685-6800, extension 4002. So if you're having a hard time with school clothes and such, you can at least get some help there with some shoes for your kids if you're in need. Once again, 685-6800, extension 4002.
That's cool.
All right. Anything else? No?
I think that's it.
Then we're out of here. A big round of applause for Michelle at Master Control and Phillip for getting the new Starlink system and making it back to the show today. Yay!
Yay!
Other than that, we want you to keep on enjoying Northern Lights Public Radio all weekend long. Keep it right here, KCHW 102.7. Today's show brought to you by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers.
Programming made possible by donations from the following.